Hi, passengers, and welcome to, okay, get this, Adventure 199. Like, what? That's crazy. So I'm your host today. I will be your ringmaster. I'm Holly, and this is Grand Circle Tour Podcast. Totally threw me off by introducing episode 199. Anyways, today is kind of a quiet show. I only have one co-host on, but it's okay because he's my absolute favorite. So I have conductor Dan with me. Hi, Dan. How are you? And what's up?
Holly, the two of us are on a show, and it's going to be quiet. I mean, we're probably the loudest of the two.
I just feel weird because there's not somebody else like interjecting. I don't know. So it's just quiet.
It is going to be a quiet. Let's go with that. A quiet show. We should, Jay, insert some like music, some like peaceful music here. You know, that's what we need.
Right.
All right. Am I supposed to do a waltz up, I guess? That's how this works?
Yes. Yes.
Before, I don't know.
You should know by now. Episode 199. Come on.
I don't know if you've heard the last couple shows, though. Whenever I co-host, I do a bad dad joke about this time. You know that? Have you heard?
Oh, yeah.
You know those jokes, right? Do you know what princess loves bad dad jokes? Rapunzel.
Okay, so do you have these already in your head, or do you have to like Google them before you record?
It's all in my head. There's a lot of stuff in my head that needs to come out.
I don't even want to go in there.
You have no idea how much useless knowledge is up there, but anyway, my waltz up. I have a couple waltz up. I'm gonna go with this one. Because we were just talking about it. This wasn't my planned waltz up, but actually, you know what? I'm changing it on the fly, Hal. Changing it on the fly. As a DVC member, for those that are not DVC, you may not know this, but you get a use year, right? So you get a month where your use year starts. My month is September, right? So September 1st is when my points kind of like go into my bank. Okay. However, 5 months before that use year, it's hard to say use year.
Yeah.
You have to make a decision on if you're going to be using your points. And you have to make that a couple months beforehand, right? So it's March, April, May, June, July, August, September. It's 7 months. Sorry, 7 months beforehand. So I need to make my decision now on if I'm going to be using my points before September 1st. And I love DVC, but I thought it was something I should bring up to our passengers if you're interested. That is one drawback that I completely hate.
Yeah.
You have to make the decision that you're going to quote unquote bank your points, which means that you could save them for the next year. Yeah. And it's you're not going to be able, if you change your mind, well, you can't change your mind. You just can't go. Once you say no, you're done until September 1st.
Okay, so that makes a whole lot of sense for me as a non-DVC. However, I still own a timeshare and I'm able to trade in. Now it makes sense to me why a lot of inventory pops up at 7 months ahead. Like, so that makes a lot of sense. That's crazy though. So once you say no, that's it. That's
it. And also the other thing is you have to say no, because if you don't say no and you get through September to September 1st for me, they're gone. If you don't bank them, they're gone.
Wow.
So I have to say either no, yes. I guess I'm actually saying yes to banking them. That's actually the question.
Okay, so that's banking them to not go anywhere by September of this year.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
But you can go after September.
Correct.
Or no? Okay.
Right, because that's when my next year starts.
Okay.
So it's a little frustrating.
Because you can't like find a good flight. Like, look at this, $40. Let's go.
And what also stinks for me is having the use year of September 1st, and all use you can get whatever use month you want. But having it September 1st is right at the end of the summertime. So that's usually when I take my trips, right? My wife's a teacher. My kids are in school. So, I got to make my plans now. And I really want to go this summer. Right. I really want to go this summer, but I'm not to that point where I want to make my plans yet. So I'm probably gonna bank them, and that means I'm not going this summer, basically.
Yeah. But you
So
should go this summer because I'm going this summer.
I know. So I still have a couple weeks. I have to make that.
Wait, so that was a waltz up? That didn't sound very uppity.
Are waltz up supposed to be uppity? I don't know.
I thought they were waltz up, like uplifting, happy news, right?
Well, yeah, I guess. The only reason I decided not to do it is because I do have the Disney cruise booked this summer, which may or may not happen. But
right,
I'm still doing that. So that's the uppity part. I still have something to look forward to.
Okay, that's good.
Hopefully I have that to look forward to.
Oh my goodness. So I always have something going on now with Disney. I swear we're there every single week. But we mentioned this on the live show. Justin is coming out. So he's going to be here this next week. So I made my reservation. I'm going to go meet him and Monica. I've never met him in person. Actually, the only person I've met in person is Chris. So I'm excited to see them. And especially because I didn't realize he said on the show that he hasn't been to Disneyland since 2016. So he has a lot of new stuff to see. So that will be exciting. I'm actually going to go to DCA with them.
Do you know the last time I was there?
When you were like 7?
Close. 96 was the last time I was in Disneyland. So
yeah, it's time.
When I eventually get out there.
Come out this way for summer instead of going to Disney World.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey, it may be an option.
You never know. So anyway, so that's exciting. I feel like, and at least he told me he was coming. And reminded me too to get that reservation.
When did he make this plan? How come this the other day was the first time I heard about it? Has he had this trip planned?
It's so funny because that's what everybody, because I said something about, I'm going to meet Justin. And Stan was like, what? Wait, what do you mean? I'm like, he's coming out here. He just sent it in a message directly to me, just letting me know this was quite a while ago that they decided to come out and do any of these dates work to meet up. And I said, that's really smart because that's the week before our kids get an entire week for President's Day off. Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, that's why I planned it the week before. I'm like, yeah, that was smart.
Yeah.
Do you guys get a week off too?
We've done Disney World that week multiple times, and it's a disaster. It gets so crowded.
I bet. We're gonna stay a couple nights over at a hotel and go to Disneyland because I never go there. But it'll probably be pretty crazy.
What about you? I thought you would for sure. We're going to talk about Mickey's house as your waltz up.
I don't know. I guess because I talked about it on the live show and then I posted it, but it was fun. Like a bunch of Disney adults went, and in Toontown you can rent Mickey's house, and it's a 90-minute party, and it was a lot of fun actually. So
you're not called a Disney adult anymore. You have the official title. You're a Disney influencer. That's what
I don't think so yet. I don't think I have enough followers yet. And it's so funny when people like in our group, they're like, oh, you get a bunch of Disney influencers. And I'm like, oh, is that what you call yourself? I don't know. I just feel silly like saying that. I guess when I have more followers and money, I don't know, then I can.
Yeah, well, as we always say, we don't get too rich on this podcast, but we did get a check in the mail though the other day from one company, we won't say, but I do have news for you. Between the 7 of us, we are all $1.26 richer. So that is a true story.
So exciting. Hey, whatever, it all helps pay the bills. It's so funny.
Little step, baby steps. We'll get there.
Exactly. So as I just kind of mentioned, the family and I were going to go to Florida this summer, and we're going to, was it Kent? Oh no, Jeff. I said, we're going this summer. And he goes, you mean you're going to simmer? So funny. So we're going to go at the end of June. So I was on the Disney World website, just kind of going through, seeing if there's anything new. And I found this little tab that said like it was under Disney World and then things to do. And then Enchanting Extras collection. And I thought, well, what is this? So I clicked on that, and there is a long list of some of it I already knew about, but some of it I had no idea. Like, I mean, it lists things from golfing to miniature golf to extravagant things, but I thought it would be fun for us to go down that list. And I didn't give any guidelines, like if money was no object, which one would we do, or what can you do? So for me, I kind of did the top 3 of what I think I can financially support to do with all 6 of us, or just Chris and I, or whatever.
Oh, I went with money's no object, by the way.
Okay, good. So that's good. That's good. So we'll get both sides of this. So if you want to start us off with your number 3.
Sure, I'll start. So I also wanted to pick some that like maybe people don't do that often, right? Like, so I would kind of, these might not be like my necessary like top 3, but like I just wanted to like kind of explore some other things, but all things that I would be interested in doing as well.
Good.
So one of the things that I love doing in my spare time, but it's a little hard with the kids and everything, is I'm a big golfer. I love to golf. And and every time I go to Disney World, I always check out the golf courses. Not like check them out, but like see them as we drive through.
Right.
And we stay at Saratoga, which is, I believe, I think it's on Magnolia. I think that's the name of I could be wrong with that, but it's on one of the golf courses. So one time I was there, my parents had another room, and their room was like overlooking the golf course. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is like just so nice. And like, for me, that's like perfect relaxation is around a golf.
Yeah.
And I did some research, and Disney, if you don't know, Disney has 4 golf courses right now. They have the Lake Buena Vista, which is, I think, their flagship golf course. They have Magnolia. They have the Oak Trail, which is only a 9-hole course. So if someone's out there that, may not want to spend the 6 hours it may take to do a round of golf,
right,
and only want to do half that, you can hit up Oak Trail. And then they have the Disney's Palms. And I believe that most are over in the Magic Kingdom area, and the Lake Buena Vista is in the Disney Springs area. But,
let's be honest about that 9-hole one. That's the one where the husband's like, please, can I go golfing? And the wife says, fine, but just 9 holes.
But we have lunch reservations that be your guest at 1, so you better be there.
Exactly. So let's be honest why they did that.
So my trick that I have done in other places, not Disney, but like one time I was at Hershey, is I get my wife a day at the spa.
And then what am I supposed to be doing? That's why you are still married after all these years.
But what am I supposed to do while I wait for her to spend, all those hours?
Exactly.
I might as well go golfing,
Yeah, that's a really good plan.
By the way, Hershey Spa, it's complete like a chocolate rub. So I remember,
What?
oh yeah, it's magnificent. And then I also went golfing in Hershey at the crack of dawn, and all you smell is chocolate in the air because they're literally making the chocolate. So
that's so awesome.
Yeah, little
Love
plug
that.
for Hershey Park there.
Now, did they list any prices for this?
They did, but I wasn't prepared for that. Holly.
Sorry. I just always wonder because my husband golfs too, and the prices range, I mean, from nothing to like hundreds of dollars. So I just was kind of curious where Disney fell into that.
So I am looking at it right now, and there is a place for prices for all of these extras, right? So I do have prices for a lot of stuff. And the real reason, as I'm realizing now, is that the price says will and may vary. So whatever that means.
Oh boy. I know it usually also depends on the time too. Like certain times of the day are much cheaper than prime time.
I know here in New York, our golf courses, you could always get a cheaper rate at towards the evening. When they're closing. But the other thing that you got to think about is that if you're going to go on vacation, you're probably not going to bring your clubs. If you are, that's cool. But you got a rental. I saw all of these except for the Oak Trail, all are golf carts. So you have to pay for the golf cart.
Okay.
So listen, golfing is an expensive sport. It really is.
It is. Yeah.
It really is. But the courses in Disney had been used, at least the Lake Buena Vista has been used for PGA tournaments. So it's great quality.
I saw that. Very cool. Very nice. That's a good one. Okay, so for my number 3, I was thinking this one would be more of a date night. This is called Celebration at the Top, 50th Flavors and Fireworks, and this is at the Contemporary. It's $129 per person, so that's why I was kind of thinking no kids. But you get appetizers and small plates from California Grill, and you get desserts and drinks, alcohol beverages included. So when you really think about that, that really isn't that bad of a price tag. So if you're going to be drinking, because how much are drinks? 14, 16, 18 bucks. So, I mean, if you just have 2-3 of those and your appetizers and dessert, and then so you go a little bit early to have your snacks and some drinks. Then you watch the fireworks out on the deck. And then you come back in after that for after dinner drinks and coffee and more dessert. So I think it's actually not badly priced.
Any way you could get free alcohol, I'm for it. So
exactly,
even though you have to pay for it, if it's included, I'm for it.
Right. And obviously you have the option to not have alcohol, but if you're paying $129 and you're on a date night, might as well. And you're on vacation. So
it's one of the reasons I love Hoop-de-Doo Review so much, is that it comes with all you could drink beer. So
okay. See, that's always been on my list, but I haven't done it yet. So
really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's open yet. Is it open yet? I don't think it is.
I want to say it is, but then I'm like, well, maybe I'm just dreaming that it is, and it really isn't. I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's hard to keep up. Like, because there's so much reopening that I'm like, did that really reopen, or am I just hoping it did? I don't know. So that's why I kind of liked this list too, because I get to see things that I didn't know about or forgot about.
Yeah.
What's your number 2?
All right. So speaking of alcohol, my segue, I guess. This is one where I actually was watching Paging Tom. Is his name Paging Tom Morrow? Is that his name? I think that's his name. He's a YouTuber. And he actually did this about 2 months ago, I think it was. And I was like glued to the YouTube episode that he did. And it's the tequila tasting at La Cava.
Yeah.
It starts at $150. And basically it's a private tasting.
That's pretty cool.
They have these really cool pictures set up of all these. It looks like there's a flight of 10 tequilas.
I would be literally dead. Literally dead. Oh my gosh. No.
But the way they do it is it's a lengthy thing, right? It takes a little bit of time, and you don't just line them up and you're not doing
throw
shots,
them back,
right? It's not like your old college days. Like that's not happening. But you have a certified tequila ambassador guide you through a selection of rare and unique agave spirits. Each spirit is paired with a flavor meant to enhance its essence. So in the video that I watched, some of them are given a lemon zest, right? Like a piece of a lemon or an orange or a piece of chocolate or a piece of cinnamon or something like that. That goes with the tequila that you're drinking. And
I like that.
The expert sits there and talks to you about how it's made and what goes into the different types of tequila. And for those that are tequila drinkers, which I dabble in, but I'm definitely not an expert, like it's it's crazy, like the amount that goes into making tequila. And it's really interesting, the whole process. And I don't know, it seems to me like it would be a cool afternoon. You could do a group up to 14 people.
Oh yeah, that would be
so
fun.
if you have a nice group, that's a cool day out. And you get unlimited chips and guac is included.
Heck yeah, sign me up. So I did see that on the list, but I did not click on it because tequila is not my friend. However, that actually sounds really nice because, like you said, you're tasting it and not just like shooting it.
You're not
and
shooting tequila. And I have a feeling this tequila is not the tequila that's going to get you like crazy either, you know.
Right. Yeah, that sounds fun. I like it. Okay, so this next one, wait, where am I at? Okay, so this next one I actually think I'm going to try to book this summer. When I told Chris how much it costs, like the prices are decent, and then you add it times 6 and it's like, oh crap. But I told him how much it was for all 6 of us, and he was
I thought we decided no more kids on these trips. Didn't we decide that?
I try not to, but it's summer. Like, what else am I gonna do? So this one is called the Fairy Tale Fireworks. So once again, you can see the theme of my ideas here, a dessert cruise. But this one, I didn't see anything about any alcohol. So this one, it says it's $99 for adults and $69 for kids. But it was the strangest thing because when I went to click on it to like actually book it, it was coming out at like 80 something and then 50 something for the kids. So I don't know if maybe they had, you know how they're kind of reducing pricing for certain things where it's not, you know,
Could
certain
be,
characters. Right. So I don't know if it was that or what, but I like that price better. But once again, you head out on the Seven Seas Lagoon. It's 90 minutes, 50 minutes prior to the fireworks. You go and have your dessert, and gosh, they have to have some sort of drink. So they would have to. I need to check more into that to see if alcoholic beverages are included. Because then Chris will be on board. He'll be like, okay, that's not a bad deal. But then you go out and you watch the fireworks. It just seems, I just really love being on the water, boats, and dessert, fireworks. So all of that for me is a total win. And that's like something I really would like to do.
Do you follow the mouselets on Instagram at all?
Sometimes when I'm on our page and I see it because they pop up all over on our page, but did they do this?
They went this week, and when they go on their trips, they do like complete, like all day long. They do live stories, and it's 2 sisters, and it was one of the sisters' birthdays, and the one sister surprised her, where they said they were going to go get the bread pudding at the, I guess, Ohana, but you can get it on the beach. And she said that was her birthday surprise, but really it was a fireworks cruise.
Oh, cool. Did it look cool?
It looked amazing. And, you know, to talk about like the drinks and stuff, they brought their own alcohol.
Okay. So maybe that's
and they had coolers, but when they did, now that I think about it, when they opened the coolers on the boat, they were filled. So I don't know. Maybe they supply you with something too. Okay.
Yeah. I need to check more into that, but I don't know. It just sounds, it's something different, especially for this. I don't think we have to be in a park. So if we don't have a park day, something you can do later in the evening, you don't have to have tickets. Because honestly, for us this trip, I think we're only doing 2 days in the parks, which is really sad.
That's it? That's what you're doing?
But it's hard for me to justify it now because we're at Disneyland every single week. And I know it's not Disney. I know it's totally different. But it's so expensive for 1 day tickets for us. So yeah, I think we're going to only do 2 days. Obviously we're doing Epcot, and we're going to have to fight it out for the second park because everybody has their own idea of what park they want to do.
That's when the family splits up for a day.
But they're already mad at me. Like, why do we have to do Epcot? Why do you like Epcot so much? I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I have to like give them the pro list of what's so great about it to remind them. And they're like, okay, fine. And I'm like, also I'm paying, so you don't really get a choice. So anyways, but we're also doing, and I don't think any of you did this, but the Discovery Cove.
Oh, very cool. I've never done it, but looks really awesome.
I wasn't sure about it because I haven't heard anybody talk about it ever. So I joined a Facebook group, like Florida Activities or something. There's like a ton of followers on there. I posted, has anybody been to the Discovery Cove? I got like 300 comments, all best day of my life. You have to do this. Like, I think there was 4 negative comments and one was like, free the whales, or you know what I mean? So like, so it was, I'm like, okay, I guess we have to do this. So when you book that, you can pay like $20 extra and get Aquatica and SeaWorld for free too. So we're going to
That's cool.
try something different.
That's awesome. How many days is your whole trip?
It's like 10 or 11 days.
Wow.
Yeah, because we're flying in and spending a week. We're staying at Old Key West. And then, so we're going to do all that. And then we're going to go to the other side of Florida to Sarasota and visit my family. So
Perfect. That's awesome.
yeah, that's exciting.
All right.
Are we on number 1 already?
We are, but I have extras, so we
Okay.
can keep going if you want. I feel like this one's a little bit of a cop out because it's like, well, yeah, why wouldn't you want to do that? But like, also like, how can we have this conversation without mentioning the VIP private tour, right?
Yeah, right.
And for those that want a little bit more in-depth conversations, I had a friend on in July. I think it was episode 160-ish, like in the 160s. You go back and listen to that. I had a friend, Jim, who went on one trip and he did the Disney VIP tour and the Universal VIP tour in 1 week. Talk about like crazy amount of money. Like,
Yeah.
it was like super expensive. And by the way, little spoiler, the Universal one blew the Disney one away, his opinion. But that doesn't change the fact that I would do anything to go on a VIP tour. And I spoke about the Mouselets earlier today. They actually got comped. I don't know how, but they got comped the VIP tour in this trip too. So they
when that kind of stuff is happening, then we can say I'm a Disney influencer. But until then, I'm nobody.
Well, if anyone's
That's
listening,
insane.
Josh, if you're listening and you want to hook us up, let us know, please. But please let us know within the next week because I have to book my DVC.
Yeah, he's got. Well, they'll just throw that in too. Why not?
I guess so, right?
Come on.
But if you don't know what the VIP tour is, it's completely, you could customize it however you want. You can go to whatever parks you want. You kind of have a talk about it beforehand so that they can prep it for you. Up to 10 guests. So for my friend Jim that had on that episode, he went with 10 people and they split it 10 ways.
Yeah.
And when I talk about the cost in a second, you're going to gasp. But at least it's 10 times cheaper if you bring 10 people. And
Exactly.
split it.
Just like what we just did for Mickey's house. I was not paying $350 by myself, but
So, yes, $350, that's a lot of money. However, the VIP tour ranges, and I've never seen this low range, by the way. The few people that I know have done it have all been on this high range of $850 per hour with a minimum of 6 hours. That's what this costs.
yeah.
That's a lot of money, right? So
you can, I wonder what's the maximum hours?
yeah, I don't know. Can you do all 24 hours? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have heard that one of the things that Jim told me this in our episode that we had with him, and some other people have told me that is that they're very like by the book, like to the minute. Like you have to meet at this time. That's when the clock starts. And while the guides are comfortable while you're spending the day with them, it's also as soon as that clock hits whatever 5, whatever the time, they're out of there. And like, peace, I've never seen you before in my life, where the Universal ones, as per Jim, they actually let him do some other things afterwards, and they went on some other attractions and it was more.
Do you remember how much he said the Universal one was?
It was very similar. It was a little cheaper, but it was still a lot of money, like talking about in the hundreds per hour.
And you also have to keep in mind that you have to tip the plaids too. Like they're your guide all day long, hopefully doing extra special things for you, whatever you want on your list. So I'm assuming you need to at least give them $200 minimum, I would say.
And you have to pay for park admission too.
That's true. That's true.
I know. So we're talking about a lot of money here.
Honestly, blows me away. It seems like that would be included. I mean, I shouldn't be
Yeah, yeah,
shocked,
yeah.
right? Like,
By the way, I misspoke. It's a minimum of 7 hours, not 6
okay,
hours. So.
it's gone up since we spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
but
very
yeah,
strict, right? It says up to 10 guests, comma, including infants. So like they're not even keeping they're not even
yeah.
throwing in the infant for you, you
That's how
know.
it was for the Mickey's house too.
Yeah.
Infants counted too. So I don't remember the exact numbers anymore, and I didn't see it on this list. But there's another tour, and it was in the some VIP one, and it was in like the $20,000 range. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
I don't even.
What do you get for that one? Jeez.
It was like you got all nice meals. Like every meal was a nice meal, but I forget what it was all included. But it was pretty. I'm like, what? And once again, I don't think park admission was included with that either.
So when Jim was on our show, he talked a lot about how Universal has like almost like a dining hall, like maybe like a little makeshift cafeteria, and you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner in that place,
okay.
and that's included. And to get 3 meals out of it, that's pretty cool, right? You get a breakfast before you
Especially
start.
for 10 people.
Yeah, exactly. So, and while it's not, like fine dining, or even at a restaurant like in the park, it's still nice to have that included,
Yeah, definitely. I know, because a lot of these, well, I think like the one you just talked about, it usually includes at least one meal, right?
I think it's a lunch.
Yeah.
Let me see if I could see that here. And I'm only saying I think because from what I saw on the Mouselet's Instagram, I think that they got lunch there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get at least lunch. But I mean,
yeah, it doesn't say. But I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to do one of those.
And the tour guides, talk to you about all the history, and obviously you get on the attractions, whatever attraction, you don't have to wait on the lines, they get you right in. So you can get a lot accomplished in those hours. I know people who have bounced around from park to park, and they put you in a van and take you from park to park as well through the backstage areas. So
for me, I don't think I would be most excited about the rides, right? I think it's like the history and having them take us places where we normally can't. I would probably say, I don't want to go on any rides. Take us where
I agree.
Take us where we normally can't go. Take us everywhere that you're allowed to take us.
Well, people like us, though, we've been on, we've done it, right? So like we want that new experience.
Exactly.
But, I'm sure there's a lot of people that just have money to burn that just do these VIP tours and use it as a way just to not have to wait on lines either.
Isn't that what Lightning Lane is for? $20, $15.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny. Okay. So once again, my number one, I do have another one to talk about, but this is stuff that's that I can actually afford, or think I can afford. But this is one that Stan has talked about. I think Jay has talked about it too. And hopefully one day when all of us get together, we can do this. And that's the specialty cruise. And I honestly don't have a lot of information on it, but I know it's for 10 people and it's $3.99 and it's the boat. So it's just for those 10 people. So this other one that I was talking about, like the dessert one, could be, I don't know how many people are going to be on that one, but this is a private boat just for the 10 people. You can bring your own drinks, bring your own food, but it's the same thing. You go out, I think it's 90 minutes also, which is kind of pricey, honestly, for 90 minutes. Maybe it was 2 hours, but I just think it's so fun, especially when you get a group, like if we all went, and then I think we'd probably have to find some random people.
Bring some listeners on it with us.
But I'm always just looking for those different experiences like this, where it's something completely different. You have your private boat and you're out on the lagoon and watching the fireworks, just hanging out. And you don't see a lot of people doing that all the time. So I think that would be a lot of fun. I mean, I would like to do that with my family too, but I think it would be more fun with And splitting it is always beneficial too. But I know Stan really wants to do that if we ever all make it to Disney World together.
I have some more. Do you want me to go over another one?
Yeah.
I was looking for one where I thought it would be like a cool like experience with our family, but also not break the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this one, which is over at Fort Wilderness, and it's the Fort Wilderness Archery Experience.
Oh, cool.
It's $45 per person, not including tax, and you get a 75-minute session of teaching people how to use all different types of bows, right? So you have the regular, like the picture
Cool.
has the like the old-fashioned wood bow, but it also talks about using compound bows, which are like, legit like hunting bows,
Yeah.
And I have a compound bow. I spent a lot of money on this compound bow one time with the thoughts of that one day I'll be a hunter, and that never happened. So the compound bow is literally sitting in my shed in my backyard.
Is that the one that's like flat, like it?
It's the one. Yeah, it's flat. It looks like almost like a crossbow, but it goes up and down. And it's got a heavy drawer on it.
Friend's husband, so you load the arrows in, and I guess they all have specific sizes of arrows that go in these bows.
Yep.
And she sent me such a horrifying. First of all, she didn't even tell me, like, hey, I'm going to send you a photo. I just get this photo. Her husband was shooting the bow, and he put the wrong size arrow in. It was too small. So it just like put it in, and then it just shot out completely through his hand.
Ooh.
I thought it was fake. And he's like the luckiest guy ever because it missed. Your hand is so bony and has so much tendons. Oh. It missed every tendon, every bone, every artery. I don't even know how that happened, but it is the most insane photo ever. And then to not even say, hey, I'm sending you a gnarly photo, beware. I'm like, what the heck?
So we're going off the rails here a little bit, but just to tell the real reason I don't use it is that when I was practicing, I have a kind of like an archery, like indoor archery place near my house, and I went there, and mine is 55 pounds of pressure, right? So the pull is 55 pounds, and it stays there, and you tap the button, and you have 55 pounds of pressure that shoots the arrow. Yeah. And my arm got too close to it, so my whole inside of my forearm got smashed by the string. Oh. And I, no joke, had a black and blue from my wrist to like the back of my elbow. And it was just entire black and blue. And I remember going to work like the next day, and it was very obvious. This was before COVID, right? So people were like, what happened to you? And I was like making up the most random stories.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like, yeah.
Okay. So this would actually be good for you because maybe you can learn how to properly use.
I've gone many times thereafter to ranges, and I've gotten pretty good, but I still can't do the hunting thing yet. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Oh my gosh.
But I think that this is a cool thing because I've been to some of these, like I said, archery ranges like in New York, and it's just a fun experience. They teach you a lot. They give you a little bit of history of the bows. Some of the wooden bows they teach. I don't know if Disney does this. I'm sure they do. Teach you how they're made and what goes into the craftsmanship of it.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Here you could bring up they have classes here classes are limited to 10 guests. So it's small little classes.
Yeah, they would have to. It'd be dangerous.
Yeah, right. Walk-ups are welcome, but you also have advanced reservations that I'm looking at the website right now, and you could go ahead and book something.
I noticed that like on everything it says reservations are encouraged, but I'm like, when do you not need a reservation with anything at Disney? Like, come on, why do they even bother to put that? Like, you need a reservation.
Your reservation for Space Mountain is encouraged as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So this other one that I would absolutely love to do it, and I don't know if you have it on your list, but this one is never going to happen. Did you look at the 50th anniversary tour?
I am looking at it as we speak.
Okay, so this one is for a limited time because of the 50th anniversary, and it's only for up to 6 people. So if you're on the website right now, you'll notice what's missing: the price, right? You cannot find the price, which means what?
It's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. So yeah, so you have to call to get the pricing. But you start out at the Contemporary, so you can go through the whole history of that. And you start out with the champagne toast, and then you take a private boat over to Magic Kingdom and explore Cinderella's suite, the castle suite. And then you have lunch at Be Our Guest. And then I'm assuming you can do the same thing. They'll tour you around, let you ride rides, I would assume, because I don't really see any times or how long it is. And then you take the Skyliner to Epcot. Somewhere in here, you get to go on Ratatouille. And then it doesn't say you stop in for dinner, but you get to visit Space 220 for a treat. What does that mean? I don't know. But anyways, so the price tag on this, and remember, it's only for up to 6. All the other ones are like 10 people, right? $6,500 for this one.
No way. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I was like, I could not find the price. I'm like, okay, it's got to be expensive.
The treat they give you at Space 220 better be a bar of gold. You know.
I'm going to assume it's just like dessert, which is strange to me because I feel like it's like kind of an all-day thing, and just starting out with champagne, like need some more food than this, and then lunch.
As I said, if there's alcohol involved, I'm there. So you know.
Yeah. And is it just a toast or like a bottle? Like what are we working with here? But I know there was a lot more details, and I went to like Mouse Dining, and they had actually done this tour, and they had a little bit different scenarios than what I read on the website. Because their tour, which I don't understand why, but their tour started out at Fort Wilderness, and then they toured the Circle D Ranch, and they got to see the horses and how. So I'm not sure what happened there, if they requested that, if it changed. I don't know. But so I was kind of confused because I was kind of writing what their day was like, and then I went back to the website. I'm like, wait, that's not listed at all. So I don't know. So maybe for $6,500, you get to do whatever you want. I don't know. Maybe they rode the horses too. No idea.
I have a couple that I'd like to just mention, if you don't mind. And these are all things that, it's like, if I had the time, I would do these things, right? If I did like a 3-week trip or something, like these are the things I would do, right? So first thing I'll talk about is the fishing excursions, which they have at many of the resorts. You could do 2-hour tours, 4-hour tours. When I was at Port Orleans, Riverside, they actually have cane fishing poles that you can rent, like the actual, like a cane with a string and a hook and a worm.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And you can go fishing in there. So I would love to maybe, take my boys out one day and go fishing early morning at Disney while mom sleeps. And, I think that
sounds like a lot of fun. I actually like fishing.
Another thing that I saw, and I actually saw Tim Tracker did a video of this one time. It's, I think it's Typhoon. Yeah, it's Typhoon Lagoon. They do surf lessons early in the morning, and they do it in the wave pool, and they teach you how to surf. I'm like, I don't know, that sounds cool to me. Like they get you the whole wetsuit and get you set up.
Especially if it's early in the morning, there's not that many people.
Yeah, so
making fun of you. I mean, watching you.
So they do it before the park opens. Actually,
yeah, that's even better.
So like when Tim Tracker did it. There's no one there except him and his wife Jen, who was filming the video of him surfing.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then the last thing, getting back to the golf, if you go to that Oak Trail golf course, which is the smaller 9-hole golf course, I don't know if you know the new foot golf thing that they have.
Oh yes, yeah.
They have foot golf there, which is
Oh, okay.
basically soccer and golf combined, where you could kick the
Right.
ball. And I've been like dying for there to be a foot golf course to come out on Long Island, but so far that hasn't reached my area yet. But I'd love
Well, you
to
can
go
do
do
it
that.
with me.
Yeah.
I also saw that they, in 2 different locations, I think it was Fort Wilderness and then Port Orleans, they do carriage rides.
Yes,
So
I've seen that in
that
person.
wasn't bad either, but it's for up to 4 people and it's $55 an hour. So that's something else kind of fun and different to do.
Yeah, actually, I was coming home one night after a night of Epcot, so you probably know what state I was in. And actually, funny story about this, there was actually a shuttle launch that day.
Oh, wow.
So we were coming back to our room, and we just saw like everyone was outside of their rooms. Like everyone was just outside, like, which we thought at the time were looking at us, but really they were looking in the sky. And then as I make the turn, it's, and if you guys know that resort, it's very quiet and not a lot of lights. It's really nice, actually. And I just hear like, I'm like, what the heck? And I turned around and there was like a horse like 2 feet in front of me. I was like, oh my God, what is going on?
That's so funny. Yeah, that list was really good because, we go often and like, it's just funny all the things that we still have yet to do or didn't even know were on there.
Yep.
So going back to that question that we all get all the time, are you bored yet? Haven't you done it all? Like, no, because just randomly we found this list. And yeah, some of it we knew about, but I didn't know about that dessert cruise. I knew that they had dessert cruises before, like they had that Pirate and Pal, because that's what I was actually looking for, but I didn't see that any longer. So they are constantly adding new things and changing. And with so many resorts, there's so much to do. Like there really is endless. And we could probably even do an episode on each Disney resort and all the activities and restaurants at each. Maybe we should do that. That would be kind of fun. Like detours, like go
through
into
each resort.
Yeah, because they all have like movies and look at this. There's carriage rides and
yeah, I mean they all have these like whatever they call it, town halls or activity centers or something like that. Everyone has one, and like even my last trip, I've been to Saratoga Springs a million times, and Connor and I came home one day from the parks. It was a little late. We wanted to get a Mickey ice cream. So we got the Mickey ice cream, and then we like walked the long way. And we like went to this like area that I've never been to before. They had these foosball tables. People were out there playing foosball.
You're like, what?
Yeah. I'm like, where did this come
You're
from?
like, I'm an owner here and I don't even know. Like, this is my home resort. Yeah,
and they have the movies on the lawns, and like every resort will have some kind of like place where you could do marshmallows, like roast marshmallows, s'mores, things like that. Every place has that now, and it's just you can go like, even for the little kids, we can go find like places for them to color or do projects, and sometimes they have the projects throughout the day. Sometimes it costs you a few bucks here or there, like tie-dye shirts or something like that.
Yeah, those are cool because I think they do the Mickey in the center. Like
you do the Mickey in the middle.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I know. So just like I said, we're only doing 2 days in the park, but honestly, like a lot of the stuff that we mentioned, you don't even have to be in the park. So, and you're still getting the Disney experience. So yeah,
definitely.
Lots of fun stuff. So thank you for joining and not having your power go out. Poor Stan. Stan was supposed to have joined us. We didn't mention, but he mentioned his back hurting. His poor guys, his back has been out, and then we just log in to record and his power goes out. We're like, oh my goodness, this poor guy.
The show almost never happened, but you know what? We had to keep the streak alive. Exactly. 199. We only have one more to go to hit 200, and then maybe we could take a break after that. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, right.
I did say on the live show that I promised our passengers that were on our live show that I would get you to sing tonight. Is there any chance that will happen? Hello?
Not a chance.
You sure? You don't want to do the first verse of We Don't Talk About Bruno? We could do like a little duet. No?
I won't even do a reel on that with not my actual voice. So no, that's not going to happen. You can go on without me though.
No, it's all right. I need both.
Nice try though. I appreciate the effort.
I'll get you there one day. How cool would it be if we could get like a video of all of us doing one part from We Don't Talk About Bruno? And like, we could go viral that way.
I know. I have so many ideas, but it's hard to get them all put together with 7 of us. Like, poor Justin's the only one that's followed through on the job I gave him like 2 months ago.
Well, I sent a message about this cool idea I had for an Instagram reel. Holly replies back, "Yeah, Dan, I asked you to get me all that stuff like 2 months ago, and you just ignored it."
And Justin was like, he's so funny because he was the one that was most like, well, what do you need it for? Well, what do I have to do? Well, what do I wear? Well, what is the background? And he's the only one that did it. And he did fantastic. He got a costume. He did an awesome background. And within like 2 days, I had photos. Nobody else did it. Stan kept sending me the most random photos. I don't even know, chickens and stuff. I don't remember. But and he's the only one.
So Holly wanted us to dress up as our characters, right? And Holly, I will say, as a conductor, I went and found my son's like little like choo-choo train set, and it had a conductor's hat. So I'll send you the picture because I think it'd be funny for everyone to see anyway. And I stood in front of my my Big Thunder Mountain Railroad sign I have behind me. I stood behind that as the background, but the hat was like really too small. So I was like, I'm not sending this out.
So funny. Well, I have to be honest too. I still don't even have the outfit. So, but it was just funny. Like, Justin was so worried about it, and then he's the only one that did it.
And I did not share this with you, but Stan actually listened to my request, and he sent me the same request that you put out, that I put out. He sent it to me, so I have Stan's pictures. So I'll try to do a reel on Instagram for Stan.
I know, we need to. It's funny, but yeah, I keep meaning to buy my ringmaster outfit, and then I'm like, I don't know, but I think I need it for Villains Night coming up. I think I need the coat anyways, so I'll get on that too.
Can we talk about that? Are we allowed to talk about that yet, or no?
The giveaway or what?
The giveaway.
Well, so we're doing a Star Wars giveaway. That will be ours, yeah. So coming up, we are partnering with a bunch of Instagram Disney influencers, a bunch of other accounts. I think it's 9 other accounts, including a hotel. And we're going to be giving away 2 tickets to Star Wars Night at Disneyland for May the 4th. So be on lookout for that on Instagram. Right now, we're doing another one for the Villains Night giveaway. So obviously that's not till May. So we don't want to do it too far out, but probably in the next few weeks, we'll start getting that ready. So that's going to be a really good giveaway because those tickets aren't cheap and you're getting a hotel stay too. So I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2 nights. Yeah. So that's really awesome. So
still working out the details, but we'll have all that out for everyone. And all you got to do is follow us on Instagram, right? That's all that.
Yeah. And then we're just going to like swipe the bar in the stories, the little.
Yep.
And that's it. And that will get you entered. So
very
easy
cool.
peasy.
Yep.
So thank you.
Sounds awesome.
Ken, take it away.
If you would like to keep the adventure going after the show, be sure to like our Facebook friends page, Grand Circle Tours Magical Ticket Holders. While you're on Facebook, like our group page, Grand Circle Tours. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Grand Circle Tours Podcast, as well as on Instagram, GCT Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Grand Circle Tour. If you would like to email us, drop us a line at gctpodcast@gmail.com. T-shirts and other fun merchandise can be found at tpublic.com. Simply search Grand Circle Tour Podcast. If you enjoyed your adventure, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Only one rule, make it good. All logos, sounds, songs, and music that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are the full ownership of the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be the ownership of the Grand Circle Tour Podcast. Thank you for riding with us, and welcome home.